Thank you, Theodore. I'm happy to welcome everyone. I would like to say that I was born and I work in Zaporizhia, and my interests in my researches are phenomena of spirituality of a person, and also harmonically integration and interconnection of the person with the world. And in this context, I would like to show you a couple of photos from my native city, the context of a harmoniously interconnection of the person and the world. The first slides, please. Zaporizhia is a city in Ukraine. It is situated on the river Dnieper. This river Dnieper is is our inspiration for people living in Ukraine. This city also has a huge island, Kortitsa. Everyone living in Zaporizhia is happy to have this island. It is a very harmonious interconnection for the people with the nature to have this island. This island is very beautiful. It has beautiful forms. They look very harmonious. And you can see that the island has got a very old rocks, old and beautiful. The city is also beautiful when the sun is getting up. This is our main avenue, and also the city is beautiful in the evening. And at the moment, the city doesn't look like that. At the moment, a lot of houses are destroyed. The lives of people are destroyed. And a lot of people are traumatized. And I would like to talk about trauma from the point of view of philosophy. I would like to tell that from the very beginning that philosophy talking about trauma from the point of view of philosophy is very special. We can talk where do we aim to when we have a trauma, or how can we get strong? How can we overcome a traumatic experience? And this second point of view will be the main point for tonight. The philosophical point of view helps us to get deeply into into something happening in our life. Our integrity as a personality is very important. It shows how do we integrate with the nature, with other people, or how we don't integrate with them. And in this key, I would like to like from this point of view, I would like to talk today. If we are talking about harmonious interconnection between people and the world, one should mention that people in their history during the centuries were searching mythology, culture, religion, science, also philosophy, all cultural projects, also arts, can be looked at as a try to find integrity with the world. The mythology of different folks, they have something in common. People try to find the connection with the world in all the mythologies. The mysteries in myths are like that. They show us that the world is alive. The world around us is integrated. The world around us is interconnected with ourselves. The next slide, please. I was searching for some pictures and photos to try to explain what I want to tell you. The senses of person, it is symbolically shown on these pictures. The person is trying to gain it as an instrument of harmonization, its interconnection with the world, its integrity with the world. We use these instruments, our senses, ever since the people are on the road. And it is important to develop your own senses as well. Together with the mythology, their arts were developed. And the arts are helping people to understand the world while making the picture of it. When the person is making an image of the world, this helps the person to understand the world, to imagine it, to make it integrated in one's life. And in the art, we can see it, that the person learned to create images in one's perception. And thanks to those images, thanks to this ability, the person learned to integrate his or her own connections with the world. Mythology, arts, and also religion was playing a very important part in the history of development of people. Religion helped to develop the feeling of love and trust into the world. Oleg Shuplyak, Берегиня, the picture of a Ukrainian painter. You can see that the woman, she, as a symbol of woman, she's growing very huge, and she's protecting her family, her home, and she has trust and love to her family. And you can see that the woman is like a bird. She has wings. The more modern instrument is science to realize oneself. The picture of Ivan Marchuk, awakening of our own perception, of our own ability to think, due to the instruments that people have, like science, art, religion. At the moment, all the technologies of integrity of the person with the world are connected with those instruments. And how successful they are, it depends on on the images that person is making. Just a few minutes ago, we were doing eurythmy with Valentin, and we had opportunity to imagine ourselves in interconnection with the world, imagine ourselves as a personality. We also felt trust and love, because we trusted ourselves, we trusted our own bodies. That's why they could move. We trusted the space where we could move. And also we had the realization of our interconnection with the space. It is really very beautiful that on our conference we can listen to different speakers. They show us plenty of very different traumatical states of the person, and also the ways to get out. For example, Harald Haas, he told us about psychology of a person, how to get out of trauma. In practical exercises, we can use this theory. And we will still have some more speakers, for example, Gulsaira, who will bring art therapy. We need to remember that the success of how we will get out of trauma is dependent on how plenty of how many sides of ourselves we have. Today I will talk about so I believe that some people in definite states, even if they are not traumatized, they might need some ways of integrity, some ways of feeling harmonious with the world. What is integrity? Integrity, we know this term from the time of Plato and Aristotle. This picture is called sphere. Taras Usik, the painter. Integrity is known from the world, from the age of Plato and Aristotle, as understanding the whole, as parts creating the whole. We can't imagine something whole, some integrity, as something standing alone. We can only imagine integrity as some wholesomeness, like our inner organs or our inner systems. They create our body, and we as people are the part of the whole mankind, and the mankind is the part of our planet, and the planet, and you understand for sure that we can go on imagining this through Plato and Aristotle. After them was Immanuel Kant talking about integrity, and he said that self-regulation is very important. No matter what art of integrity exists, it will regulate itself. Hegel, he added to this that the structure and self-regulation gives us the possibility of self-development. Those three fundamental points of integrity help us to talk about three spheres of integrity. Integrity as structure, integrity as the moment of functioning of this structure or interconnections in this structure, and integrity as the possibility to develop oneself, to gain new capabilities. It is the most difficult part. And now we try to take these main qualities to talking about integrity of the person. We can look from 3 points of view. The integrity of the structure of the person, the possibility of our self-regulation, and our possibility to gain new capabilities to develop ourselves, to change ourselves, to learn something new. Surely the people, they are very complicated. Each person is very complicated, but each person has like 3 levels, has the body, has psychic, and has spirit. And we can say that in realization of this structure isn't as easy. We don't know as much about our body. We surely try to get to know something about our psychic, but we don't know everything about it. About our social capabilities, we know how to be with other people, how to feel other people. Psychologists say it is empathy. It is the basic of our sociality, empathy. As to spiritual part of a person, we can talk a lot, and to talk short, it is our capability to interconnect with the world internally in a harmonious way. So our body, psychic, and spirit, they help us to show us to the world and to live as a person. When we talk about integrity of the person, we can't but not mention only one sphere of the person. We can't talk only about body or only about psychic or social capability. When we talk about integrity, it is like something eternal in us. We can say that it is the space, the inner space and the huge outer space. What is a person? What are the structures of the person? How do we understand this structure? It isn't easy. We need to be here and everywhere at the same moment. We need to be the dot and the wave at the same moment. How does this cosmicity help us to show ourselves in the world? Our body we can feel it when we, for example, lean on the rocks which you saw on the photo on Khortytsa. We can feel our psychic when we feel our connection with the people who were living on this earth before me for many, many centuries. And due to this body connection with the earth, I can feel the others and the sorrows will be less. I can feel pain when my land is bombed and the earth is quaking. Surely I feel it through my body, and it influences my soul. And when we are on a plane, we are traveling, we look through the window, and we see that actually the planet is quite little. And it is important to realize it, and this helps to feel the integrity of the earth as well. Surely each person will feel in another way. When we can understand the whole structure of ourselves, the cosmicity in ourselves, our bodily structure, our psychic structure, our spiritual structure. This will show our first level, morphological level of integrity. The second level is functional level of integrity, our possibility to self-regulation. The functional integrity of the person, we can realize it. We can understand how healthy is my state, physical, psychic. How can I influence my own psychic and social spiritual structure? This is a huge question. When we talk about our structure, we think of our body, of our and also of our soul. How do we function? How can we function when we are healthy, when we are physically and psychic healthy, when we can be with other people, and it is our spiritual health. And from the point of view how to regulate oneself, the philosophy can give very interesting instruments. Maybe you all know what I will talk about, but it is very important. The instruments like our ideals or the like truth and will. Why truth? What is truth? Truth is the interconnection over our words, thoughts, and our deeds. Words are connected more with our psychic, thoughts with our spirit, and deeds with our physical structure, physical body. When we do what we think and when we feel and say what we feel, when our ideals come to be visible. It is a very important instrument. It is truth. It is the interconnection of our structural elements between our bodily structure, between our psychic, and between our spirit, what is our thoughts. The truth gives us the opportunity to structure in a good way, to be well self-regularized. It is difficult to tell the truth. To do it, we need to have the will. The will gives strength to stay for the truth. The will gives strength to make this interconnection in a good way between thoughts, deeds, and words. And in order to talk about it, we normally need to say that those two principles aren't alone. There is one more principle that helps us. It is connected with our social abilities, with our unity and love. So we can say that those four principles are the most important. For some people, they might seem quite simple things, but when we use them as the ideals, when we don't just think that it is good, we know that it is good, and we were taught it is good, but when we really feel them as our structure, when we feel the influence of them in the world, how can we feel this reflection in the world? When we live in connection with truth, we will do some job that we love. Grigory Skovoroda, a very important Ukrainian scientist from the 18th century, he talked about the deeds, how important it is to do and to stay to your ideals. This will show itself in how much love is there in your family. This would be the indicator of the person in the world. We can search for those bases in ourselves. How does the person function as a cosmic being? We can also talk about it in the context of the third level of integrity. The context of how the world, how the person, so you can see a face on the one side, and it is made of the stone, of the rock, and on the then one more face that is made from the trees, and if you look a couple like more directly, you can see a third face. It is made of the air, of the clouds. I chose this picture to show how difficult the person is, each person, that what should be there, that one face will mirror another. When we talk about aggression or about pain, we can think of how can we keep integrity. And the third part of integrity, the organizational integrity, the third level, means the new abilities of ourselves. We can develop new abilities that can enable us to self-control, to create a self-controlled structure. And due to it, we can get new abilities. When we have a very difficult life during the war, for example, it is difficult to function, it is difficult to gain integrity. And the basic levels of integrity are the first two, morphological and functional. And we need to put all our power into gaining this integrity onto the first two levels. The possibility of self-regulation, the possibility of staying healthy, when we gain them, they help us to gain new capacities. How can we see it in our life? The child is growing up. We can see that the child from the point is becoming a teenager. It was a child and now it is a teenager. It is a new quality of a person, and after that the teenager will become a young person. It is also a new quality of the person, and also gaining new qualities is developing of the personality. The person, the man or woman, isn't born as a personality. We become a personality only when we gain some new abilities. In our life, we gain new abilities the whole time. And when we keep our structure during our life, and when we enable it to function, then we can gain the new abilities also as adults. Gaining new abilities, we can talk about abilities to heal, for example. They are also new abilities. They can be very different. And it is important to know that we will be able to gain new abilities when we can obtain our structure, when we can understand our structure, micro, cosmic and macrocosmic, when will we understand how can we regulate this structure, and this will enable us to gain new abilities. New abilities, they enable us, in fact, to release stress, to release trauma influence. Traumatic can be like some trauma experiences can become just as little stress to us when we have the ability to self-regulate. When we go on with the inner work on ourselves, there are a lot of techniques to do it. And no matter what kind of techniques we choose, it can help us to gain some new knowledge about ourselves, to regulate this structure. And that's why I really believe that no matter what we are doing in any sphere of life, with any ability of ourselves, it will help us to develop everything in ourselves, to develop our integrity, and to help us gain new ability. Thank you for your attention. Maybe you have some questions. I would be glad to answer them. Many, many thanks, Iryna. And also that you are ready now to talk to us, to open your soul to the questions that are very important to you, and also to the questions where it is very difficult to open yourself for you. And those elements about which you were talking, love, truth, that we had the possibility to feel ourselves as well. Babs asked whether you asked through the when you were talking about the rocks of Khortytsa, and you lean on the rock, whether it helps you to get the sorrow away, to get lose the sorrow. Yes, I didn't understand the question. I didn't hear the question. Need to it to be repeated. Theodore, when whether when you feel with your back the rock, whether it helps you to overcome the sorrow. yes, it is a very special experience. It happened on its own. It isn't just sorrow. Each person feels has some personal experiences with the rocks. Those granite rocks on Khortytsa, they are really ancient. They aren't artificial. They are natural. The planet made it. And when I touch the rock, and not by my hand, when I touch it with the whole back, and this experience was in autumn when the sun is still warm, and the stones, the rocks become very warm, and they welcome to lean upon them. And I didn't plan to do it, and it was very, very special for me. It happened 10 or 15 years ago, and I still can remember this feeling. I still can remember it was really incredibly strong, this feeling. Thank you, Iryna. Gudrun asked at the very beginning, or in the first third, that you were talking about some divine forces as an instrument. Can you please say a couple more words to it? Iryna, while talking about divine as in an instrument, I can talk about this present of trust and love. The person could gain trust while being among other people, as well as love while being among other people. But the metrics of those forces, trust and love, it is in the interconnection between the person and the world. Everyone can say about it in a different way, but it isn't as important. Someone can say God or Alpha and Omega or the world, but we can understand it is the same point. And I believe it is very important to find the translation of other terms. Last time when I was listening to James Dyson, and he was talking about the influence upon us, the influence onto our structures, and he was talking about our brain, metabolics, breathing, the system of movements. And when we talk about spiritual, social abilities, physical abilities, they have something in common. And I believe it is important to find something that all the terms have in common. And it is important to be able to see something that different things have in common. And the ability to see some divine forces in the world is like our abilities in the divine forces. They can be developed and opened in a very vast way. Thank you. While you were talking, some of us began to discuss about the truth. Can you please tell one more time about the role of truth in the connection to integrity? And the truth is the interconnection between the words, thoughts, and deeds. And when this interconnection exists, the whole structure of ourselves is connected in a right way. When we think, our thoughts are, it is the level of social interconnection. When we talk, it refers to our psychic more. When we do something, it is more connected with our body. Surely, in our thoughts, we can feel the movements of our body as well. And while we are doing something, we can realize that we have the connection with our thoughts, for example. And it is important that those three levels correspond with one another and are identical. Because if they are different, then we will hurt our interconnection, and this will hurt ourselves as well. And now Annette also said to this that the truth when a person experiences trauma, the truth gets lost. The person loses truth. Iryna is asking to say the question one more time. So the truth gets lost when the person experiences trauma. Iryna. Yes. And this shows us that we need to be very attentive, and we need to get back to our truth, because when we lose the truth, or when we have it, it is the indicator of trauma. If it isn't always trauma, it can be also stressful situation. When we, for example, can't look at the truth, and when we can't stand the truth. A lot of people in my land at the beginning of the war, they couldn't believe that it is happening. They couldn't believe it, that and also a lot of people couldn't believe that it can be as brutal and aggressive at the beginning of the 21st century. And it is important to look at this truth, and it needs to be gentle to come to truth, this way to truth. It is the search of connection with different elements of ourself, no matter how painful it is. But if we don't have the connection with it, we need to get it again. We need to get back to truth. Did I understand it in a right way, Iryna? At the moment, there are different truths, and people are discussing them. And if you are talking about truth, I believe it is this connection between talking, thinking, and doing, and trying to activate in oneself to overcome trauma, what you were talking about. Did I understand it in a correct way? Iryna. Yes, Theodore, that's true, but it is only a part of it. It is the truth of microcosmical truth, but we are both micro and macrocosmos. We need to realize whether our little microcosmical truth is true when we also see the huge truth, the life of a living being, of the life of people, of plants. We can understand this life, realize it when we can understand that we are the world. We are a little world in a huge world, and finding it in oneself, the dot, the point, and the wave, the finding ourselves here and now and everywhere. The truth can be found in interconnection with the life, with the principles of life. I can't find the truth myself. So the connection with the life, this would be back to Valentin. He was going through these levels of life, up and down. And Iryna, maybe one more thought of you at the end. You said that to overcome trauma, you need to be very you need to have a different you need to integrate differences in oneself. Iryna, at the moment we have a lot of technologies. The most effective ones are those that talk to diversity in ourselves, who talk to our physical, psychic, social abilities, and to our spiritual abilities, like the ability to interconnect with the world in a very subtle way, and also activation of different parts of ourselves. This will give us very a lot of power, a lot of strength. And in fact, it is very interesting. And it helps us to create new technologies of getting out of trauma, of stress release. When we think of those fundamental things, it is theory that can make practice even more powerful. I thank you for very interesting questions, and I wish everyone health, joy, and love.